डियर स्टूडेंट्स अस्सलाम वालेकुम। हमने आज सीखना है the solution of a quadratic equation by the completing square method. So it is another method to find the roots of a quadratic equation. This method is known as completing the square. Here we have to complete the sum of square of two terms, that is we have to use the identity a plus b whole squared. So we have to use this known, we have to complete the square by rearrangement of the terms. So let us consider the general quadratic equation and solve it by the method of completing the square. Then we will apply the same methodology to find the roots of any quadratic equation in the exercise. Now let us learn how to solve it by the method of completing square. Consider the quadratic equation. Let's consider the quadratic equation. This ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0, where a is non-zero. So first of all you have to remember that the leading coefficient, that is the coefficient of x squared, should be a or must be a perfect square. That is, 1 is a perfect square, so we'll divide the throughout the equation by a, that is the leading coefficient, so as to get the leading coefficient as 1. Therefore on dividing the equation throughout by a, we will get x square plus b by ax plus c by a equal to 0. Now over here we will complete the square of the two terms, that is we'll use the identity a plus b whole square. Instead of a you have x, and instead of b we will use b divided by a. Now we had to complete the identity or the formula, that is x square plus 2ab. So instead of a you have x, sorry, so 2a, let us see, x square plus twice x into b divided by a is the second term, but you have multiplied the term by 2, so we will divide it by 2, so that we are left with the same term as in the above equation, and the equation is no longer altered by multiplying and dividing by 2. You have multiplied by 2 and divided by 2, so we got a square plus 2ab plus second term square is b by 2a. So b by 2a is our second term. Now a square plus 2ab, instead of b you have b by 2a, that's b square. So after this it is a plus b whole square identity. It can be simplified, minus we have introduced this term on our own in order to complete the square, so the same term gets subtracted, so that the equation will remain unaltered. So we have to subtract this term b by 2a and added it. Now we have the term, that is constant term c by a, will write at the end. Now what has happened to the equation? The equation has now returned in this form. Up to this you have, sorry, let me, in this way we have complete the square, that is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Instead of a you have x, instead of b you have b divided by 2a, so we write x plus b by 2a whole square. minus this b square is on the numerator and denominator as well, so it can be distributed over numerator and denominator, that is b square divided by 4a square plus c by a equal to 0. Now it is x plus b by 2a whole square. As such, we will transpose these terms to the right hand side. We will get b by 4a square as positive and c by a as negative. Now we will simplify them by cross multiplication on the right hand side. We will get ab square minus 4 times a square c divided by 4a square into a. Now on the left hand side we have x plus b by 2a whole square. On the right hand side you can put common a in the numerator and as well as in the denominator, so that a gets cancelled and you are left with b square minus 4ac divided by 4a square. Now we are left with x plus b by 2a whole square is equal to b square minus 4ac divided by 2 times a whole square. If this numerator is non-zero or greater or equal to 0, that is non-negative, then we will take the plus minus square root on both sides, so that this square gets cancelled and we are left with plus minus b square minus 4ac divided by, over here you are left with 2a only, so x will be equal to minus b by 2a plus minus, so b by 2a will be transferred to the right hand side. It will turn to be minus b by 2a plus minus b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So now x is equal to minus b by, so these have common denominator and can be written as minus b plus minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. So this is what is known as quadratic formula. So these are the roots of the quadratic equation ax square plus bx plus c. One of the root is minus b with plus sign of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a, and other is minus b minus square root of b square minus 4ac divided by 2a. The entity in the square root is also known as discriminant d. So b square minus 4ac is also known as discriminant of the quadratic equation. If this b square minus 4ac is greater or equal to 0, then we say that it has real roots, otherwise the roots are not equal if it is less than 0. So this is whole about how can we compute the square roots by the method of the computing square, and this formula is known as quadratic formula. So this formula can be employed to find the square roots of any quadratic equation, knowing the values of a, b and c there, that is coefficient of x, x square, x and constant terms. We will find the square roots of the quadratic equation.